Massachusetts Republican Senator-elect Scott Brown pulling off a major win in Massachusetts and an upset. And now some are wondering if the election shows that Democrats are out of touch with the American voters as they cram through their agenda. Well, here's what comedian Dennis Miller had to say last night on the O'Reilly factor.
Guess what? Democrats, when you put the jeweler's loop on, they don't show well. In theory, they're good. When they're off in the distance, second-guessing somebody, it all sounds good. Hope, change, a better world, friendly, we'll get along with everybody. But then it's like head cheese. When they tell you head cheese is nutritious, you go, oh, I'll try that lunch meat. Then you get a look at head cheese up close, you're not eating it. Head cheese is the Democratic Party.
He's right about head cheese.
Interesting analogy. So are the Dems out of touch? Let's ask Alabama Congressman Parker Griffith. Guess what he did? He just switched political parties last month, changing from a Dem to a Republican. And now he joins us from our D.C. bureau. Good morning to you, Congressman.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
So are Democrats like head cheese?
Well, in a way, they are. But I think, more importantly, I think the American people are becoming more and more independent. And their news sources are much, much better than they used to be, and it's instant. And so I think we're seeing more and more of Americans being very, very independent in how they vote. The Democrats are confident, but they're wrong. And so being confident and wrong in any management system is dangerous to the organization. And I think the Democrats are finding, both in the executive branch and in leadership in Congress, that being confident is not enough. You've got to have the right policies, and you've got to be in touch with mainstream America, which they have found themselves to be completely out of touch.
Well, you know what, Congressman? You're talking about the Democrats as they. You were a Democrat until 1 month ago today. Why'd you switch?
Right. Well, I switched because the health care policies and the amount of debt that we're running up in America is going to weaken this country if we don't stop it. The cap and trade bill is disastrous. The health care bill, disastrous. The bailouts, disastrous. And over the last year, I was able to see the Democrats up close. And although there are many, many fine, very good public servants in the Democratic Party, the leadership of the Democratic Party has taken this country so far to the left that it's on the verge of a cliff. And I think we need to pull it back, get into mainstream America, begin to pay attention to the housewives and the folks that are running this country from their kitchen tables. Sure. We need to be really, really paying attention now. And I think the Massachusetts voter, that independent voter, said, pay attention to us, and if you don't pay attention to us, we're going to remove you from office.
Right, or revolt. How much of this, speaking of an election, sir, how much of this was because you have an election coming up and you wanted to be reelected?
Well, all the pundits said that I could be reelected as a Democrat, and so it was not me being reelected. It was more about my convictions and the fact that I represent an extremely important district in America. It has international implications. We're the home of Army aviation. We're the home of missile defense, Marshall Space Flight Center. All of these things are being diluted out by this current administration, and I think it's a bad thing internationally for our international allies. It's a bad thing for my district, and so I cannot really defend the Democratic Party in my district.
All right, he did a brave thing. He jumped from the majority to the minority. New Republican Representative Parker Griffith of the 5th District of Alabama. Thank you, sir, for joining us live today.
Thank you.
You bet.
Well, the federal government is already